We in this thing. Oh, there's somebody we need to thank, and we're going to pass it on over to littlest Nelly so we can get that out of the way. Nelly?
Hello! I just wanted to thank our sponsor for the show, which is Swift Lifestyles. I'm going to link y'all to them real quick. Swift Lifestyles is a health-focused brand that does many, many different amazing things. They've got hydrate powder. Wow, hydrate powder. They've got energy powder in a bunch of fun different flavors. They've got gummy vitamins to fill the hole that Flintstones vitamins have all left in our heart. And many, many more. It's really, really great. My personal favorite is the cotton candy hydrate. If you can't tell, cotton candy is my aesthetic, but it also tastes really, really great. They've also got bubblegum, blue raspberry, a bunch of different really, really cool flavors. And if you head over to Swift Lifestyles and you use the code GetGeeked, you can get 15% off of your order. That helps give you a little bit of nutrition that's better than downing a Red Bull. And then it helps support the show. Also, if you are like me and you are ADHD and you are caffeine sensitive, I highly, highly recommend the energy powder. They are caffeine-free energy supplements, which is amazing. So definitely go ahead and give them a shout. I'll link that for y'all in chat real quick.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, littlest Nelly, for giving a shout out to our sponsors and getting those. We getting the beers, man. You already know what it is. So thank you so much for taking care of that. Also got a new follower, Awesome Game Girl. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Geeklife family.
Welcome.
We are glad to have you. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening watching us just be ridiculous and talk about nerdy news. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. We appreciate you here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So thanks for sticking around. We've got a great second half of the show for you guys. So let's dive right into this week's deep dive. Doodle dot, do the dandy.
Splash.
Splash. Oh, man. So, today's deep dive is what's a gamer? Earlier this week, I was doing my mindless scrolling through TikTok and I saw what you'll see on any social media if you scroll long enough, misogyny. A debate was popping off in someone's comment section on what it meant to be a gamer. Classic tired argument was played out that people who play games like The Sims weren't gamers. I don't understand that. So, it got us talking in our last admin meeting about what it means to be a gamer. According to some, it's someone who owns every major system and plays almost all major releases. But in reality, is this physically possible for the average person? Maybe when you're in high school, but as soon as you have a job, even a part-time one, a significant other, and some semblance of a social life, playing that many games is next to impossible. So, does that mean I'm not a gamer? I follow the industry for as long as I can remember, and I play a lot of games, and most importantly, love to get my game on. But because I don't play every single release or own every console, I'm not considered a true gamer. I had to go on the Webster and to see if there was a definition here, and it is a person who plays games, not a person who plays all the games, just one who plays games. To me, that's an acceptable definition. But let's get started here tonight. So, to you guys, what is a gamer? Kev?
Yes. A gamer is someone who plays video games and enjoys them. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. No, I mean, that's really all I should have to say, but I guess I need to elaborate because we've had the need to turn this into a topic because there is a need to turn this into a topic because it's just been this weird gatekeeping nonsense that's been going on for decades, which ruins this, this great medium for a lot of people from introduction.
Right.
When I was in undergrad, I was minoring in game design, and I took a history of gaming class, and my professor said there are two rules that make a video game. She said one, it had to be playable, and two, it had to be fun. That was it. So by that logic, if I play a game and if I'm having fun doing so, that technically makes me a gamer. It doesn't matter what the game is, whether it's The Sims, Call of Duty, Madden, Blockus, mobile, Tetris, whatever, whatever your game is, whatever your niche is, that's your game, and that's fine. And I think that's all it really is. I don't think, and we'll get into, I guess, the more nuance of it later, but I think that's really about it, in my opinion.
That's wonderful. I do appreciate that, and I agree with you. Nelly, how about you? What is a gamer?
Well, I, as a femme presenting person, I don't know anything about video games. I'm sorry to break it to you. You can't be a girl game. It's literally impossible. No. I think a gamer is, like y'all said, anyone who plays games. I want to add on, like, I guess the one asterisk that, like, your uncle who plays, Smash with you very poorly every year for Thanksgiving is not a gamer. He is someone who has played a game with you. But if you're someone who enjoys video games and, like, you try to play them on any kind of regularity, even if for that you mean like once a week, anything like that, that's, you're a gamer. Like, you enjoy video games. Like Awesome Game Girl with all of the amazing biddies is a gamer. Like, she's got Game Girl in her freaking title. Like, if you play video games, you are a gamer. I know. Thank you so much for the biddies. I love how they're all just like in the chat. They're so cute.
Yeah, it's got my attention. It's a little distracting, but I love it.
I know.
My ADD brain is like, but it's perfect.
Same.
I love it.
Wow, they spin, they shine, they're great.
Yes, they do. They're nice. They're bits. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Awesome Game Girl. But yeah, I don't want to cut you off, Nelly. So, like,
no, I mean, really, that's it. Like, if you enjoy video games, like, I don't care if it's playing like solitaire on your phone. That's a game. Like, you are a card gamer. I think there's like niches that you can say. Like, I define myself many ways as a cozy gamer. Like, I want to have a good time. I don't want to play games that stress me out. That's not why I play them. I play them because they're fun and I want to feel good.
100%.
And I think that's important, right? It's like, why do you play the games? Like, some people need that adrenaline rush, that competitive stress, right? And then others don't want that shit. Like, man, I got real life stress. I don't need extra stress in my leisure,
Yes.
Right.
And I think in that being said, that all ties into what ultimately becomes this sort of self-defined identity of, do you consider yourself a gamer? And that's it. It's not something that comes from other people. It's what you identify as.
Right. 100%, and I agree with both of you. And by sheer definition, like in Webster's, someone who plays video games. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So why does it matter so much to some? Like, so why gatekeep gaming so much, Nelly?
I think that especially the people who tend to gatekeep games, which tends to be men, in particular cishet white men, I think that there's this idea that if other people encroach in a space that they feel like they have claim to, that it'll make them less than. I think that there's an idea that if other people are enjoying things that they enjoy, that their enjoyment will be less meaningful. And I think that that's insecurity and that's your problem, bud. Personally, like, other people having fun doesn't mean that you can't also have fun. That's stupid. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I completely agree with you on that. It's sad that it's that way in this community because like, I love gaming and it's yeah. But what about you, Kev? How do you feel about it?
No, I agree. I think there is this weird sort of I think there's like this weird possessiveness over certain niches or games where it's like, you feel like you own this because you have a sort of passion towards it, and even though that passion may be borderline, like, I don't know, obsessive compulsive or even extremist cult like ideas. And I think when someone's either not as, maybe not, for lack of better words, as passionate about you, it's passionate as you towards something, specifically a game here, then you feel the need to say, oh, well, you're not this because I'm this, and you're not on whatever imaginary level plane that I've created. So, and I think that sort of also ties into like just feeling like, and it's just this weird, because it's weird, right? Like, a lot of people also feel that way even with those that they would recognize as gamers, feels like they have to one up the other person, where it's like, okay, you're a gamer, but you're not as much as a gamer as me. Then it becomes like, now there's levels to it. This becomes a mess, and it's like, what are we doing here? So yeah, I think it's just, I think it's their way of being seen, and when there's a lot of people that come into the space, they feel less than, kind of exactly what Nelly was saying, and it's really just sort of stems from insecurity. It's like the whole, like, you know, people who love to discover music or artists before they're famous and tell everyone about it. You know, like,
and then get mad when people know about it.
Yeah, it's that type of thing.
And right where you guys are coming from, I honestly, for me, I think why people gatekeep gaming so much is because of insecurity. Like, it comes from a place of they have themselves been judged for something, whether it be in gaming or whatever, and they take hold to a thing. It's like you said, it could be obsessive compulsive, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh no, if you don't do this, or if you don't play that, then you're not, you know, a gamer. You can't be in the club. But it's like, bro, there's more than that. So it is what it is. So that being said, why is it always like The Sims or Animal Crossing, you know, aka the cozy corner bops? Kev?
Bro culture. Yeah, I think because again, it goes back to how people, again, this is all just, it's an identity. So some people's identity is just competitive, stressful environment gaming, and they're like, well, if you don't do that and I do that, then you can't be a gamer. Well, it's like, well, what if I like relaxing while I play games, and that then I could say the same about you, you know? So it's like, it's almost so illogical that I can't find the words to describe why that is, but I think Nelly has it, and I don't want to steal it
you
from her,
can see my notes.
Like she's more appropriate to talk about this than I am. So
1000%.
Go ahead, Nelly.
It's misogyny. Like, men in general really do just love shitting on anything that women enjoy. Like, as soon as something becomes overtaken by women, like, I'm gonna get pumpkin spice as an example. I know it's tired, I know it's old, and I know it's done. Pumpkin spice didn't used to be a problem when it was your grandma making your grandpa fucking pumpkin pie every year for dinner. Nobody said pumpkin spice was basic because it was your grandpa's favorite fucking pie. All of a sudden, Starbucks starts using pumpkin spice in a traditionally girly drink because it's sweet or whatever, and people are like, oh, pumpkin spice is so basic. Oh, fuck pumpkin spice. Like, fuck you. Like, just let women enjoy things. Don't shit on everything. Like, have a good time. And also, it's so stupid too, because so much of it is also rooted in people not even understanding the game. Like, Stardew Valley had a huge competition a week or two ago, and people won like $10,000 for like group competition games, because it has that competitive element that people are always so shitty about in terms of it. Like, you can turn any of these games into a competitive bro game and like shit on each other, and it wouldn't matter. But people see it and they're like, oh, it's cute, oh, it's artistic, oh, like you can sit for 5 hours in a custom character creation scene, and that makes it shitty.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, like to see that, and the misogyny is really real. Like, I've seen some videos. There are some female streamers that I followed specifically because I've seen men be hella disrespectful, and I go and I'm like, you know, I'm following you just because I'm going to show you not all of us are like that, because we're all not like that. But it makes me feel bad that we're the root of that problem. You know what I mean? I've heard people completely destroy, like verbally, female gamers, and it's disgusting. I absolutely hate it. I'm going to segue real quick because my ADHD again is kicking off too. So awesome, game girl. Thank you. I'm seeing them bits. Them bitties is just popping. They just got my eyes. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. We really, really do. But yeah, it's like, I'm going to tell you, like, straight up, I love me some Sims. Like, I will sit let's talk about it. There is somebody that's sitting on here right now that created a Sims character for over an hour, and then when they discovered socks was an
That's
option,
true.
was like, oh,
Game changer.
here's socks,
Had fucked the
a
whole
whole
drip up.
nother 45. Let's talk
Had to
about
change
how
my fit.
serious. There were four. Just
It
paint the
was.
picture. There were four men sitting in a
Yes.
living room in an apartment.
Grown ass men.
Grown
in the
ass
20s.
men sitting in a living room in an apartment building playing The Sims. It's a one-player game, but we all made our individual person and basically just simulated life.
I love it.
It was, and we had a blast. Like, it made no sense how fun it was, and no one was controlling shit. It was phenomenal. So miss me with that. Like, you're not a gamer if you play The Sims or blah 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 blah. I see Sad Gaming in here. He had put in a comment. He was like, "I'm an all-around gamer." You know what that sounds like? It sounds like you're a gamer. You know what I mean? You are a gamer. So like that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
It is amazing the good time that you can have when you let go of your toxic attachment to your gender norms. Like, when you let go of toxic masculinity, you can have a great fucking time playing games. Like, we were talking about this on Silphco Sports on Wednesday, Thursday, I think, about how, like, one of the reasons that I think there has been such a huge uptick in female competitive players in Pokemon over the last year is because they moved competitions online, and there's no voice chat when you're playing Pokemon BGC. And that used to be, it used to be one of the major hurdles for playing Pokemon competitively, is that you had to do it in person. And there's so much toxicity there. Like, I don't want to go to a fucking competitive BGC match, like, in person in fucking Dallas, Texas. Fuck that.
Oh, God.
Go in there? No. But there was a huge uptick because it became more accessible when you took out that layer of toxic bullshit.
Right.
It was more fun for everyone.
100%.
I totally agree. And like, that's the thing that's always been confusing to me about this, is that like there's this need, like, no one has the right to the gatekeep, right? Like, there's no authority. Like, you're gonna say I'm not something, okay, congratulations.
Right?
You know, like,
that's an opinion you have.
Yeah, that is, you have an opinion. Congrats. You know, so I've never understood like this need to just sort of shit on people's interest, especially like they don't hurt anybody, right? Like this whole thing, like I feel like everything has to be a competition, even things that aren't. Like, that's the annoying thing, where it's like, oh yeah, my console's better than yours, my shoes are better than yours, my phone's better than yours. It's like like, who, like do you enjoy the shit that you have? Because apparently not, because you're measuring it against everyone else's, right? So I think going back to what Nelly was saying, it's all born out of insecurity.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not needed in the gaming community, but you know, it exists, and I wish it didn't, because there are some awesome girl gamers that exist, and I'm friends with some personally that are phenomenal. But even if they're not up to competition snuff, they are still gamers. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, let them be, let them do what they do. But
also, like, the bar for women having to be fantastic in every video game, like, I know people always shit on that one, like, competition, and I think there was something else going on too, I can't remember the whole story, where like there was only one female competitive match in the game, and everyone's like, oh, they were, you know, they didn't win, they like didn't even make it to the end. Do you know how many fucking subpar basic ass men play video games every single day but get to live their life in peace for being mediocre? Let women be mediocre. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But with that, are there any other games you've seen people, you know, try to claim playing makes you not a gamer? Nelly?
Animal Crossing, Sims, Stardew Valley. You know what? I'm saying it anyway. Azalea Dolls dress-up games. That makes me a gamer. I don't care. It's a fun time. I use it to make my D&D characters. You can look in Geeklife's Discord right now, and they're fucking cool as shit. They're great fucking dress-up games.
Oh my
Basically
God.
anything with a large female platform.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but yeah. But Kev, you, bro?
Ironically enough, sports games. Like if you just like, I remember Jake touched on this in the meeting where like if you just played sports games, other people will shit on you, like, oh, you don't play actual games. This,
Yeah.
which I thought is kind of ironic because, and I hate to like generalize here, but these are the people that I'm generalizing against. The people I'm generalizing against are usually generalizing everybody else, so it doesn't really matter. A lot of the like, a lot of this comes from like this toxic COD culture. You know what I mean? And
Oh God.
I'm using that game as a reference. Where it's like if like it's just mind-boggling to me where it's like you have to be sweating, you have to be angry, and you have to be shooting somebody in the face. or it has to be like this obscure like too smart for you niche hipster game that no one else plays, or it's like, yeah, I only play like games stop being good after Xbox 360, like that, like those type, like it's just this,
Right.
like
You can't catch a virus on your computer by downloading it. It's not a real
exactly.
game.
It's like, oh, I used to
Yeah.
play Quake. Okay, cool.
Like, so
Yeah.
somebody give a damn about anyway. That's neither here nor there. But no, like for me, like
I paid my $60 like everybody else. Let me enjoy my game.
facts. Like for me, like it would be RPG games. Like a lot of people would bag on you because you're playing an action adventure game. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh man, you like those games where you just go out and you just run out of work. You're not playing with nobody else. It's like, yeah, because NPCs aren't stressful. God damn it, you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'd rather just go out here and just chill with Bill who sells flowers on the corner. That's not real.
Away from you.
Just then kick it with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. I'd rather hunt the boar in the grass than throw a football to you. You know what I'm saying? In Madden. Like that's just, it is what it is. So, but speaking of COD toxicity, what is it about FPS games that make them feel like they're the only real gamers? Kev?
I think that people mistake being competitive as a necessary characteristic of it being a video game. Like there's something where it's like, oh, a video game also has to be a sport, even though collectively most people with that, even that's a sore subject. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. And a lot of FPSs are primarily used for competitive play, even though some of them actually have had like phenomenal story-driven gameplay, like Halo. Even the older Call of Duty games, like Modern Warfare, the first two were fantastic. But now it's just about it's just right to the matchmaking, and that like people have mistaken it by thinking that video games need to be a sport or a competition. I think that's ultimately where this sort of disconnect has come from.
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that. How about you, Nelly?
I think Kev hit it right on the head by saying that people feel like it needs to be competitive. I think I think there's a drive there from insecurity that the only way to have a good time doing what you're doing is to compare it to doing what somebody else is doing. Yeah, like you feel like you have to be better than somebody else in order to have a good time doing it. Instead of just having a good time, just be good in your own lane. Like I think the competitive aspect is 100% what hits it.
Yeah. And this, like earlier when I had put notes in here, that was literally the vein that I was in. Like FPSs are primarily competitive games, and it drives a whole bunch of different emotions. And a lot of people associate that with being a real game. It's like, I need the stress. I need the competition. I need my back against the wall. I need my KD to be 2.0. I need, you know what I'm saying? I need to be able to play with 100 Thieves. If you don't know who that is, look them up. They're fantastic. Like I need to do this, that, and the third. No, you don't, motherfucker. You just need to play the video game and just enjoy yourself and have fun. Now, if you are doing this as a job, and when I say doing this as a job, I don't mean you're doing it for YouTube. I mean you are an MLG gamer. like you are a major league gamer professionally, then yes, it becomes your actual job. But when you're doing it for leisure or you're doing it for content creation, there are plenty of people that I follow who play video games and do content creation, and I follow them, and they are not the best at what it is they do, but it's
Right.
entertaining and they're having fun, and that's what makes the difference. I'd
Yeah.
much rather watch somebody who's playing a game that's having fun than watch somebody play a game that's stressed out.
Right.
Unless I'm intentionally watching esports. You feel what I'm saying? Then I'm definitely
Right.
watching people stress out. But
You're
if
there for
that's
the
not what
drama.
I'm doing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If that's not what I'm doing, then I'm chilling.
And-
There's
and-
somebody in the chat. Hold on, real quick, just sidebar. There's somebody in the chat that's going to understand what this means. I saw the final boss in my blinds. Go on, Kev.
Oh God.
Ooh.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay. So yeah. So I think it's just like, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with like playing games to be competitive either, right? Like I played college basketball, so I get it. You know, like I'm a competitive person, but I know when to turn it on and off, right? Like at least for me, you know. But some people don't, because it's like I only get entertainment out of like being the best at something all the time. And again, if that's your thing, fine, but it doesn't mean you have to then apply that logic to everybody else, right? Like if you want to be the best, if you just want to always, you know, you have fun just winning, then fine, that's okay too. But the problem is when you start gatekeeping this shit as, oh, well, you're not a gamer because you played this game, or you don't even play competitively. Like that shit's stupid to me.
Right. No, it's crazy, but you know, it is what it is. FPS, but also I do enjoy healthy competition, just like how you talking about, because it's good. You know what I'm saying? But when it becomes toxic is when it becomes a problem.
Right.
But but on the light of that, have you ever been singled out for playing a game that isn't gamer worthy, Nelly?
Like every day of my life. Even when I play games that I would still like. Okay, so I'm gonna not humble brag for a second. This isn't humble at all. This is a full-on brag. Tetris has ranks, if you don't know, based off of how you beat them. So I am considered a 4th degree Tetris master. People have shit on me for playing Tetris, saying it's not a real game, and I'm like, and I talk to them, they don't even know their degrees. They don't even know their ranks. And I'm like, do you know what a 4th degree Tetris master is? It means that I can beat Tetris in under 12 minutes using exclusively Tetrises. Only the 4-bar hits. Like, people will shit on me and still not even know the intricacies of the game simply because they see it as me playing it.
They probably never heard of Tetris either, like, let's be honest.
Also, you know what I'm saying? It's like
the game with the blocks?
yeah. My grandmother played that. It's like
Tetronymos! They got individual names!
Like
People
Tetris
still
is like
shit
an
on me.
OG. Tetris is an OG. It's almost disrespectful. That's like
it's like an original game. I'm like, fuck you mean it is? That's like saying I'm not a gamer just because I play fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade style.
Okay,
first off, I'm really good at it.
Fire! That game was fire. I love it.
It was hard as fuck.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. But no,
I'm better at that game than Dot is, and that's the only thing that matters to me. It's why it's the only game I play when we go to the arcade.
Awesome. Get that ass whooped. But it's like you said, it's like disrespectful to talk about like you know the game like Tetris, like, oh, that's nothing. Like, bro, you wouldn't have what you have if it wasn't for Tetris. You wouldn't have what you have now if it wasn't for Pong. Like Kevin said, I heard you say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't have what you have if it wasn't for Pac-Man. You feel what I'm saying? You wouldn't have what you have if it wasn't for Mrs. Pac-Man. Like, you wouldn't have any of this stuff. I got to throw the Mrs. in there because that was the machine that was in my local pizza shop when I was a teenager growing up. The brawler. That's exactly where it's at. You know what it is? I'm trying not to throw names out, but I have a quarter. I was ready. 25 cent a game. People don't know about that. But it is what it is. Kev, what about you? What have you been singled out for playing that has been not gamer worthy?
So I wouldn't say I've been singled out. I mean, I've had like a friends that like I wouldn't play certain games with them because I'm like busy playing another game that I'm currently enjoying. I'm like, oh, that game sucks, and I'm like, you've literally never played it. You only played 2 games, so don't tell me your opinions on games. Sorry, I'm gatekeeping there. I'm drawing the line. I'm keeping this gate. Motherfucker. You're on the other side. So yeah, so like stuff like that, or like yeah, I think that's the only time I think I've been singled out. But for the most part, I don't really like associate with people like that. So
No, no,
usually,
no,
like, yeah, so I don't really get it, you know.
mhm. No,
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
and I have the privilege of being male, so that's the other thing. I think if I was playing some of the games, I'd probably be, you know, being attacked.
Oh yeah,
And
there.
that's
I do not enter voice chats. Do not
Being
enter voice
attacked.
chats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't enter voice chat because I don't feel like
I
it.
don't
It's like I
either.
don't
Yeah,
feel like
it's
hearing
it's
your
too
voice,
toxic
bro.
for me. I can't even imagine. Jesus
That's what I'm
Christ.
saying. You're talking to two people on here. Like Nelly, I don't know if this about you, but like for Kevin, I for sure grew up in the Xbox 360. If
Oh
I
yeah.
was judged on whether or not I was going to heaven or hell based off of my logs from Xbox 360, I'm probably not making it to the pearly gates. I'm just going to be 100% with you. And it's
And
just
not because
because,
you were antagonizing. It was you
yeah,
just didn't, you know, turn the other cheek per se
yeah,
when you were.
yeah.
You're in that GTA purgatory forever now.
You
Yeah.
just be the vanilla unicorn making it rain. But no, it's like,
Yeah.
but
Got a cons
it's,
ban the other day.
yeah, you did.
Sorry. But I didn't start it, all right? I
Yeah.
just, you know,
You
There you
didn't.
I
go.
You didn't. And there's that thing too. But no, it's like it becomes a lot. Now, for me,
yeah.
I've not been singled out for playing something that isn't gamer worthy. However, comma, I have been singled out for not playing something and being
Mm.
called not a gamer because of it.
Oh.
That's
And
true too.
there's somebody that's in chat that has actually done that to me. I'm not going to call that person out,
Oh.
but we're just going to leave that alone. I love them
Oh no.
regardless. But
Is
it's
it
like
not for
I've
Pokemon? You can
I've
tell
been
us if it's not for Pokemon.
No. It's I'm gonna admit something. I'm gonna admit something here. It was me. This place. It was me. It's me. Deal. Anyway, I just turned it out for a second. Like I have never played a Final Fantasy game until the Final Fantasy 15 game came out a couple years ago. So I got called not a gamer for never playing a Final Fantasy game. I got called not a gamer for never playing a Metal Gear Solid game. I got called not a gamer for never playing a God of War game. I got called not a gamer for playing any PlayStation game because that's literally what they were doing to me. It's like you didn't own a PlayStation.
It sounds like there's a theme here.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like I owned an Xbox. Yes, I owned a PlayStation 2, but that wasn't at the house that I resided. The Xbox was at the house I resided. So that's the console that I played the most. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God, that's such a no. We haven't touched on this, and we should. Classism in gaming and how it defines whether people are not gamers is so big because I grew up in a single console household too, right? We were Nintendo gamers, and that is a huge part of people saying, "Oh, Nintendo games aren't real games because they're meant to be family oriented." Later on, we had a cousin who had a PlayStation, we had a cousin who had a Sega, and then we had neighbors who had Xbox, and they were rich, so when they got a new Xbox, they donated it, and that's how we became a Nintendo and Xbox household. But before that, like, my brother and I never played outside of Nintendo if it wasn't somebody else's house, because we were poor. We had enough money to be like, this is our one game that our grandparents would buy us. But classism is a huge part of gatekeeping gaming.
Oh,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't say it before, but 100% yes. Yeah.
Easily.
And it's a big part of unfortunately, a big part of the gaming culture, because it's like if you didn't have this and you had that. Now, for me, like I said, I owned the PlayStation. It just wasn't in my dwelling place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I would go there, I would obviously play it. You know what I mean? I had no problems playing it, loved playing it, but I didn't have those games. And I couldn't log that type of time in regardless. Because
you know what's weird
my dwelling
about this conversation? Like, I feel like there's not that same sort of like gatekeeping for like watching movies or TV. Like if I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen Shawshank Redemption, and someone's like, oh, you're not a cinephile, I'd be like, yeah. You know,
You're
like,
right.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's
I
funny.
just watched all the Fast and Furiouses on the course of a week. That was, you know, I didn't watch fucking whatever just won the Oscars last year. You know, like that. But it's different with gaming. I don't know. It's almost like I feel more offended. Like if someone I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's just. I don't know. I think because people don't really do that in movies either. Like, I don't think anyone's ever been like. I mean, they might like say your taste in movies is shit, which I guess is just as bad. But
Oh, you've never been on a date with a single cishet white man who's been like, oh, you're not like obsessed with Tarantino. He's like the genius of our time. Yeah. No, they're out there. They're saying it.
Yeah, 100.
They're just not saying it to me.
I also don't have a foot fetish that I want to put on a large screen television. Tarantino is a foot fetish. It's a fact. Everyone, look at his fucking movies. He's fucking creepy.
It's fucking. What was the one with the famous one with fucking what's her name?
Salma Hayek. Uma Thurman. Oh, also that one.
That one too. I mean, every movie really.
No, the vampire one.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, and she like literally is like sucking on toes and shit.
Like so, like you've got your snobs in every realm. So like it exists, but it's what you deal with. But I'll tell you right now, Kevin, why you were offended about the gaming stuff. It's because you're a gamer, and this is what we're talking about. It's because you're actually a gamer. So when you get disrespected about you not being a gamer, when you clearly, I see the final boss again, when you clearly play games, it's really bad. And yes, I will continue to mention it when I see the final boss, just for my own sanity. Yep, I see.
Been dealing with this for a while.
I've been dealing with this for way too long. I need to move from my house. So that's neither here nor there. So moving on, are there any parting words on this subject from you guys? Starting with you, Kevin.
Yeah, enjoy your games and fuck everybody else's opinion. And to those who feel the need to gatekeep, like just like find something else better to do with your time. Like no one cares about your opinions on them. Like just shut the fuck up.
Thank you. All right, how about you, Nelly?
I think to the gatekeepers, stop putting your happiness in stake of what somebody else is doing in their free time. Like that, it's not your business. Don't worry about it. And also to people who see gatekeepers, call them out when you see it. Like call people on their bullshit, or they're just gonna think that it's okay to act like that. Like many of the things we talked about, a lot of today have to do with the isms and the opias. And y'all have seen me in the chip world. You know that's no isms, no opias. Like just nip it in the bud, end it.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree with the both of you. It's if you're not down with what I play, I'm not going to finish that because that's going to be very inappropriate. But you know what you can do and with what you can do it with. So we'll just leave it at that because I'm not trying to get comms banned. We're going to move on.
Okay. All right. I will own the fact that I deserve to be comms banned. All right. Let me just. Your Honor, can I have the floor, please? I actually messaged Xbox about this. I own the fact that I deserve to be comms banned, but I was provoked, and I believe that the other person who provoked me, as in your terms of being able to report someone, i.e., harassment, bullying, or unsportsmanlike conduct, they should be banned too. So we're both banned. I'm okay with it, but if it's just me, I have a problem with that.
No,
that's it.
I agree with you. And so does the final boss. He stepped out to say he agrees as well. Okay. So there's that. So we're going to move on to our top 10. All this talk about what it means to be a gamer got us thinking about how